Howdy, folks. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country. I wake up in the mornings. Well, I get up pretty early, actually. But then I get some work done, get my coffee, and then I check my emails and all that. And of course, I always check to see if there are gift requests because I get on them right away. And I got a big smile on my face because I woke up and I saw Sarah Beth Terry had made a gift for a new single she just released. So Sarah Beth, shout out to you. It just made me smile very big. And she's a Kentucky girl. She's got a new song that just came out today. So the single is being released today. And I've done a number of Sarah Beth songs, and I just love it. I love her. I love just how she presents herself. And what you see is what you get. My girlfriend is from Kentucky, and that's certainly true of Sean. So, and then Marlene McKinney is now the official music ambassador to Estill County, and we're going to be working on getting you to be the official music ambassador to the entire state of Kentucky. And then from Kentucky, we might go large to the US of A. So get yourself ready, Marlene, because I like trouble like this. Devil's Got My Tongue. And knowing Sarah Beth, I'm guessing when you say Devil's Got My Tongue, I don't know if there's going to be potty mouth in this or not, but I guess we're going to find out. So anyhow, and I am wearing the appropriate hat. If you're in Kentucky and wondering who Sarah Beth roots for, I just told you because she told me. Let's see where Sarah Beth goes with the devil having her tongue. It's got a what was I thinking feel to it.
Come on!
We're driving fast already.
Got up this morning, cause the good Lord made it so. I don't know how many tomorrows I have before I go. So I thank the Lord above for the air in my lungs. The sun came through the window, and that only pissed me off. The first sound I made sure wouldn't have praised, but a 2-pack a day kind of cough. And I thought, well, to myself, hell, it's hard to be fun. 'Cause I can't open my mouth without a grumble or cuss. And I can't get through the morning without a fight or a fuss. And all them 4-letter words, they come out one by one. Looks like the devil's got my tongue.
There it is.
Well, Kentucky has my heart, and Jesus has my soul. The man I love, he has my word, but the devil that he knows is a tempest and a taker. If she gets her on the wrong side of the bed, well, blame it on the sunrise, but I swear I woke up tired. Since then I've been fighting damn near everything with fire, trying to keep my temper, oh, so I don't lose my head.
All right, so those of you who are fans of the Bible, even if you're not, there's a verse in there that applies just universally. It's just human nature that says a soft answer turns away wrath. And it's like, yeah, you give a soft answer or you speak softly, and it not only calms you down if you're likely to get angry, but it can calm the other person down. And it's sort of like using water to put out a fire. You don't fight fire with fire, you fight fire with water. And in here, it's got some fire going on there, like burning everything down. It's like, yeah, when you go through, I know folks like this, and I used to be angry when I was younger. Trying to figure life out, kind of grew up in a, how would I say, somewhat dysfunctional household. And I just made a decision on my own that I was going to become kind, thoughtful, and just like that. But that always takes time. You don't just become that way overnight, but man, when sometimes you just go scorched earth on stuff and lose your mind. But if you learn over time to try to have that soft answer, and then when you lose it, when you lose it once in a while, then you're like, damn it, why didn't I keep my cool? Why'd I have to go there? Even if somebody gives you reason for it, if you could dial it back, but it's so hard. This song is making me think of a lot of things, obviously, but let's hear the rest.
'Cause I can't open my mouth without a grumble or cuss. And I can't get through the morning without a fight or a fuss. And all them four little words that come out one by one. Looks like the devil's got my tongue. Oh, fuck it.
Here we go. This is not the radio edit. And I have that option of using the radio edit. No, ma'am. No, sir. Sort of like a Steve McQueen energy to it.
Well, Lord, I just can't help it. No, I try to watch my mouth. Then a straw will break the camel's back. Then the whole damn day goes south. Blame it on my back roots. Oh, but I can't help myself.
Maybe you don't need to.
I can't open my mouth without a grumble or cuss. I can't get through the morning without a fight or a fuss. And all them four little words that come out one by one. Looks like the devil's got my tongue. Yeah, all them four little words keep coming one by one. Looks like the devil's got my tongue.
There's a Carrie Underwood element to your voice, so to speak.
Ain't that a son of a bitch? You done?
All right, so the sun had just come up and the day's already gone to hell. It's part of the problem. I was like that when I was younger too. I'd wait because I didn't have much I didn't know purpose to life, and I always wanted purpose. I always wanted something bigger, something more, and I hadn't found it. I wasn't taught it as a kid. When I was raised, it was basically my father dominated the household, so it was like his whole thing was you go to school and come home and basically be quiet. And that was his whole thing. So there wasn't a whole lot of life lessons going on there. And so we had to figure it out. My sisters and I had to figure it all out on our own. And we had a home, we had a roof over our head and all that stuff. But basically everything else was up to us. And we learned to work. Fine. I got no problem with that. I like work. But you wake up pissed off sometimes. You wake up and first word out of your mouth be shit. And I know people like this too. And I'm like, I got to change that. I got to, just sometimes when we learn to speak differently about things, it changes just how we're able to then see things differently when we just don't automatically have that response. But I understand this song. I love the energy in this song. I love the way Sarah Beth sings her songs, just raw, unbridled. I understand. I don't use much potty mouth on the channel, but I have potty mouth, and I use it smartly. I don't cuss. I won't cuss in a church or anything like that. Or there are certain folks I know who don't really like it, and they're just very sweet people, and I don't curse around them either. But I know the ones that I can, and that some of them cuss more than I do, so it doesn't offend me. And I did a video actually for my life coaching channel, and I think I posted it here a few years ago on cussing and potty mouth. And many folks think that like there are injunctions in the Bible to not use potty mouth. And one, I've studied the Bible a lot. I've translated and reworked the New Testament in my own words. And it took a year and a half, and I saw a lot of things in there. But really, which is worse? You wake up let's say you go in the kitchen, your kid is in the kitchen, and your kid drops a glass and it breaks. Now, which is worse? You going, shit, now I got to clean that up in front of your kid, or you will never amount to anything with that going on in your life, dropping stuff. Now, which is worse? Now, you will never amount to anything. There's no cussing in that. Now, which do you think the kid's going to get over? You just going, shit. Or you'll never amount to anything. You don't pay attention or something like that. Clearly, the thing, no potty mouth in it, but it digs at the soul. And I think that that's what it's more about. Certainly, there are social conventions we observe. Go to church, temple. You're not going to drop F-bombs in there, generally speaking. But in this one, all right, as to the song, of course, that's the lyrics and what the lyrics make me think of. But there was a lot of energy in it. There were elements in it that reminded me of Dierks Bentley. What was I thinking? I said that in the beginning. That had sort of like that up-tempo feel to it. Steve McQueen, Sheryl Crow had a little bit of that. There are certain times in there where I'm like, who am I? Who do I feel like I'm hearing here? And it was Carrie Underwood with that deep, growly, just on occasion, because Sarah Beth's her own artist, obviously, and own person. But sometimes you'll hear something and you're like, oh, that sounds like something I'd heard in, Blake Shelton's song, Old Red or something, which actually that did happen in this song in a moment. But the honesty in this song, I love honesty. I love when people just talk openly and honestly about themselves, because for me, not merely as a life coach, but just as a man, as somebody living life as well, who likes to get along with folks, sometimes you can conceal things. But decades ago, when I started writing, I learned that if you want to establish trust with other people, if you want to establish a trusting bond with your readers who may never meet you in life, you've got to be honest about things. You've got to be self-revealing about things going on in your life, how you struggle with things, because we all struggle. So when we want to present this happy face and this everything is wonderful mentality, it's like, no. I mean, I get it. You're not going to share every detail of your life, but to be honest about it, and when it shows up in songs like this, it's like, yeah, that's a real struggle. Sun comes up, hits you in the face, and you're already dropping S-bombs. And it's like, okay, who can't relate to that at least a few times in their life? And some folks can relate to that regularly. And what Miranda has a song that it's called either Love Song or That's What Makes It a Love Song. And there's a line in there that says, it's going to be one of those mornings that's going to last. It's been one of those mornings that's going to last all day. And you just know that sometimes life is just hard. And sometimes it's hard for long stretches. And it can show up in how many four-letter words we use. Other times it just becomes kind of colorful. If you're around people who drop F-bombs and just as though it's a regular adjective, fair enough. You're not even saying it out of anger. You're saying it out of habit. And you might drop that at the wrong time, drop an F-bomb at the wrong time in front of the wrong, and realize, oh my God, I got to watch this. But just because you don't want to inconvenience other people. But if we drop F-bombs and S-bombs and cussing all the time because we're angry, well, that's the root of it. We got to get rid of that. But I like the tempo. I like the drum in this. And the Nashville drum loop I don't like. That there's zoop doop doop out of the box. But this wasn't that. This was very purposeful. And it was an interesting contrast in the song because the tempo, it was very up-tempo, high energy. But Sarah Beth, the way she sang it, sort of dialed it back. I don't know what it was. I mean, I'm always focused on her lyrics anyway because she does go deep and does keep it real. But it had this odd thing where in a good way, very artistic, where the tempo and energy of the instruments was very up-tempo. And even though Sarah Beth was singing faster than you would in a ballad, let's say, there was a calmness to her, to the way in which she was singing it. And that's probably the first time, I mean, it's not the first time that I've seen that done in a song, but in this way. So, all right, I like it. I love the honesty in it. The instruments in it, the guitar work was going in one ear. The drum is kind of predominantly in the other. I wasn't paying attention to the bass because I was more focused on the lyrics. So I wished I picked up on that because I know the bass was going right along, and it just would have. But I mean, it's kind of the bass's job to stay underneath everything and kind of hold it up and then push it along, and it did that very well. All right, the number, this is on straight reliability or relatability. I know people, I have them in my mind right now who wake up saying, shit, gotta get up. It's like, man, I get it. Life can be hard, but you start off like that, you're setting yourself up for failure, kind of, for bad mood. But anyhow, and I've been there too. The number that popped into my head immediately was a 9.1. So that's going in the playlist of songs of 9 and above. I enjoyed the heck out of that. So Sarah Beth, thank you for the gift. Thank you for the request. And as you know, I've expressed my sentiments for you and your artistry, even though we've never met. I'm very thankful for you as a human being, as an artist, and as somebody who's very real. And of course, I have a very special place in my heart. For Kentucky, as you can tell, because my very, very special love, she's from Kentucky. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day. See you on another video and keep rocking the country.